All right, all right, all right. What is up here, everybody? Maybe it's working. Are we live? There we go. Welcome, everybody. Phil Nagy on Sports here with a quick draft recap. Again, the full rundown of all of the off-season things we did are in our Discord channel. A couple of highlights, as that's a look at the Browns draft here. We're going to look at everybody. Round number one. So the Washington Commanders did trade up to number one to guarantee themselves an opportunity to get Caleb Williams and reunite him with Cliff Kingsbury, which is exactly what they did. In this particular thing, they were 3 instead of 2, so some sort of tiebreaker wasn't there. So anyway, Caleb Williams goes number 1. Drake May then goes to the Patriots, number 2. The Gerard Mayo era gets Drake May. So Mayo gets May as this quarterback. The Bears sit tight then as they move back to where the Commanders came from, and they're going to get Marvin Harrison anyway. And as you can see, as an 82 overall, he is already the best player in this draft class. At number 4, Jim Harbaugh takes a tight end. Of course, Brock Bowers is a very talented tight end at that. So Brock Bowers is going to go be another weapon for Justin Herbert on that offensive side. Then the Cardinals, addressing one of their many holes, they opted to go with Terry and Arnold. They felt the best corner on the board. Then it became a kind of a run on receivers with Malik Neighbors going to the Titans to give Will Levis another threat. Rome Odunze going to New York, unfortunately for him, because they are still stuck with Daniel Jones in that situation. Then Brian Thomas, the other LSU receiver, goes to be a target for Aaron Rodgers in New York. Then Jaden Daniels, a little bit of a run on quarterbacks here. Jaden Daniels going to Raheem Morris and the Atlanta Falcons. That should be a fun and a nice upgrade over Ritter down there. Then the Bears, sitting tight from their pick that they had originally, not the one that they got from the Panthers, get the best left tackle in the game as well. So they're going to be able to roll with Justin Fields. They got Marvin Harrison and Joe Alt in the same draft. And Michael Penix goes to the Vikings, is the heir apparent there. Then Bo Nix goes to the Broncos. So those are the and then we're almost done here with those first round quarterbacks here in the top 14. Then Olu Fashun from Penn State, the second best tackle in the draft, goes to the Raiders there as they decide to go tackle instead of J.J. McCarthy, who then goes to the Seattle Seahawks. Then we get another little run on some receivers and our first defensive edge rushers as well. Troy Franklin, the speedster out of Oregon, goes to the Indianapolis Colts. Dallas Turner, the edge rusher, goes to the Saints. Jared Verse, another edge rusher, goes to Jacksonville, replacing Josh Allen there. Then Keon Coleman going to replace T. Higgins. He'll be wide receiver number 2 there. Again, both Boyd and Higgins leaving in free agency there. Then the Rams take Cooper DeJean, cornerback out of Iowa. Best defensive tackle on the board goes to the Pittsburgh Steelers because, of course, 76 overall for him. Byron Murphy as well there, back-to-back defensive tackles. Top running back on the board, Jonathan Brooks, goes to the Philadelphia Eagles to replace DeAndre Swift. Then Tez Walker, another receiver, to the Houston Texans for C.J. Stroud. Then the Browns again. One of the things that we had talked about was the Browns to, hey guys, sorry I missed you. Dope, I haven't done the free agency yet. I'm going to fill in the roster spots, so I'll definitely let you know who. I'll do a breakdown video of that. And Mason, how are you doing today as well? Not the perfect world, Sims. Just moving on into the future before we know where everybody actually goes, Sims. So anyway, the Browns ended up working a trade with the Dallas Cowboys, who had lost Tyron Smith, their left tackle. So the Browns traded Jed Wills and a mid-round pick to the Cowboys here for number 24, and the Browns were able to go get A.D. Mitchell or Adonai Mitchell. Go back. That's exactly right. Jenny, go Browns. And he will be a nice complement, big body type receiver to go with Coop and Elijah Moore. Green Bay needs the right tackle. They sit all the way until 25, and then the best right tackle in the draft, J.C. Latham from Alabama, falls right to them. So great drafting from them. The Buccaneers take Tyler Nubin, as they need both starting safeties. Javondre Swift from Texas, also filling another hole in the defense for Jonathan Gannon's crew down there in Arizona. Top free safety on the board goes to the Bills as they are replacing Micah Hyde, Cameron Kinchins from Miami. Then Kool-Aid McKinstry going to the Lions, who desperately need more corner help, and they get maybe the best one in the draft. Ravens get Latu, the best end, because they have very few defensive ends left on the roster. Then Braylon Trice goes to the 49ers to replace Chase Young, who left in free agency, and then Jordan Morgan, best remaining left tackle, replacing Donovan Smith there for the Kansas City Chiefs. So that is how the first round looks here again. And I'll quickly just do kind of some highlights here, and then I'll do all of the Browns picks. So a couple of other things just to point out. Top center in the draft also goes to the Chicago Bears, who needed a starting center. There's Nate Wiggins. He was a first-round pick going to the Chargers as well. Braswell, another rusher as well. Some Michigan players, Chop Robinson from Penn State going. So you can see all these 72, 73, 76 kind of thing. Another receiver here, Xavier Leggett, Xavier Worthy, the two Xaviers going back-to-back to the Eagles and the Jacksonville Jaguars. The second best tight end on the board, Jatavian Sanders, going to the Bengals, as they had a hole there as well. The cornerback from Georgia, Karami Lassiter, going to the Steelers there as well. Then the Browns in the second round took a big need for them, as again we have not yet we didn't resign any of the middle linebackers. So they get the top middle linebacker on the board, and that is Edgerrin Cooper. He is certainly the fastest linebacker on the board, as well, as you can see there, in 88 in speed, 89 in acceleration. He was kind of neck and neck with Jeremiah Trotter back here, but a little bit better scheme fit for the Browns. So Edgerrin Cooper going to be the new man in the middle, at least for now, unless free agency shakes out a little bit differently. There was Trotter again, as we just talked about. Ladd McConkey sneaking to the end of the second round, and the Ravens picked him up. More of a slot type receiver there coming out of Georgia. That's how the second round. Again, in the third round highlights, how about Michael Hall Jr. to the Panthers, sneaking in there at 77. He had an awesome Senior Bowl, so that clearly, again, I just downloaded this draft class an hour and a half ago, so clearly somebody saw something that they liked there. There's Blake Corum going to the Cardinals as well. We'll see if anybody else kind of stands out as a steal here in this fourth round. There's Cade Stover, again, go Bucks, going to the Miami Dolphins. A good spot potentially for him. Browns able to take another corner, just with the best guy left on the board, Jalen Polk. Bucky Irving in there as well. So anyway, we'll go ahead and take a look now just at what the Browns have done here in all of their rounds. So again, they went Mitchell, they went Cooper, then they went TJ Tampa, 70 rated corner. They actually ended up getting a couple corners because there were just a lot of highly rated ones on the board. Then they dropped down to the fifth round, where they picked up Jaden Hicks, another safety for some safety depth. Another middle linebacker, John Trey Hunter out of Georgia State in the fifth round. Another tight end for them, with Harrison Bryant moving on in the 27th pick of the sixth round. He's a 67 overall. Then they just went with a depth offensive lineman, and Will Putnam, Mayan Williams, meatball, or pork chop, depending on who you talk to, just for some running back depth. And then they picked up Max Melton in the seventh round as well. So a lot of late round picks there again for the Browns. They talked about moving on from that fourth round pick to get up and get A.D. Mitchell there in the front. So that's what we'll run with our virtual offseason. It'll start. I will go back and do a I thought people would bite on that, Mason, but nobody wanted to bite on the trading Greg Newsome. So Greg Newsome stays, and we opted to trade Jed Wills and move DeWand over to left tackle side. So again, we'll take a quick look at what this Browns roster looks like. Again, this is pre-free agency. I did the draft first, so Deshaun Watson, DTR, Chubb is back, but he's dropped down to a 94 forward strong. And then again, Mayan Williams just picked up. You're going to have Cooper, Moore, Mitchell, and then Tillman and Bell probably filling out that room. There's Wiley coming in right below Jordan Akins. There's DeWan Jones, your new left tackle, checking in at 82 overall. Rest of the offensive line pretty much untouched. Conklin will be back. We did decide to reside Zadarius Smith, so no big splash free agent on the defensive line this year. We may get somebody in free agency here in this defensive tackle room. You can see Tomlinson, Ika, and Chris Williams, who came off the practice squad, the only three left. This was a practice squad guy as well. There's Edgerrin Cooper, John Trey Hunter, and Diabate. So both of the rookies 7 points or 11 points higher than Diabate already was. Usakoromoa and Tony Fields. Again, the quarterback room is absolutely stacked. Maybe some trades could happen here as well with Ward, Newsome, Emerson, Cam Mitchell, and then the rookie TJ Tampa, Max Melton, some of these other cats as well. There's a look at the safety room. Again, these guys maybe you don't recognize. They're just coming off the practice squad as well. And then Hicks comes in before Bell. Hopkins, no punter right now because I haven't resigned Bajorquez, but I will. All right, guys, appreciate you being on with me. That was a little recap of the virtual draft. I will finish with all these team needs and do their free agents quickly. The reason that I skip them and don't do it during the free agency part is because you don't have to worry about signing bonuses. You can just you can just sign them as is. So we should be starting with our virtual 2024 Browns season here very shortly. Appreciate you guys being on. Take care of yourself, and we will chat again soon. Go Browns!